To the man at Trader Joe's, the cashier, who asked me about the oatmeal. I forgot to tell him I don't actually cook my oats. I just add protein powder and milk to them. So no, it doesn't take me that long to make them, sir. Anyway, this is Top and Bottom Talk. This is listening party, which means music info that you can use never in your life. The year is 1996. You remember that year? Let's go back. In the time bus. Just kidding. Nobody's doing that. What happened? Should I do things that... No, I shouldn't. Okay. I love quick decisions. That's what CEOs do. Alrighty, guys. The format. We're going to go over my top 15 albums in reverse order to build the momentum and anticipation. And then we're going to go over the categories, which I will try to breeze through, and then we'll say goodbye. We'll do a little smooch, and then bye. Not forever, just fair... No, wait. What does that say? Anyway, this isn't goodbye. This is see you later. All right. Enough fromage. I honestly don't know what that word means. Let's see what it means. Fromage. Is that cheese? Okay. Enough cheese. You know, I might try to get away with using that incorrectly in the future. Enough fromage. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. And if you don't speak, I'm going to say that's French. Is it French? Damn it. Oh, I was supposed to have time to do this. Supposed to have time. All right. Let's just do it while the getting's good. Number 15 for the year 1996. Get out your pen and paper. Or maybe you're just recording this, which would be weird because this is already recording. So you're doing double duty, which is what I did this morning. TMI. Okay. Number 15 is Bush Razorblade Suitcase. A popular album. My best songs that I wrote down are Personal Holloway, Swallowed, Cold Contagious. Ugh, sounds like these are all related. Mouth, Straight No Chaser, Synapse, Bone Driven, and Distant Voices. I think he could have avoided the Cold Contagious if he just not swallowed. Okay, let's not do this on the fly, Brook. Which I think Greedy Fly has a song on there as well. Oh, I think we've solved the mystery. Anyway, Bush, if you don't know them, are Nirvana ripoffs. JK. But they're a little late on the grunge movement. They're British. The frontman, Gavin Rossdale, is a hunk. He was once married, I think, to Gwen Stefani. This album is really good. Wasn't expecting it. They kind of were just like, people liked, like they were really popular, but it was just kind of like, they were a little bit late. And they're British, and they're trying to do the grunge thing, and it's, seen as they're imposters. But honestly, real or not real, these songs are delicious. They're very fun. It's a fun album. It's a little dark, in a way. I think is there a wolf or a dog on this album? Anyway, we can solve these riddles later. Let's move on. Number 14, Fiona Apple. Album is Tidal. And I think Tidal was the name of a song service? Hold on. Tidal song service. Because I'm thinking it was a music streaming service. But then Apple is also a music streaming service. And Fiona isn't anything. Okay. Best songs: Sleep to Dream, Shadowboxer, Criminal, Slow Like Honey, Never Is a Promise. Criminal video was crazy. That's what I would say put her on the map. She was really young when she made this album. Not teeny bopper, but I'm going to say less than 18. This came out in, 1996. She was born in 77, so let's do some math. Yeah, she was 19, I think, when this came out, roughly. I remember, so 96, I was 14. I remember seeing her on the Howard Stern show. And I was like, who is this skinny chick? And then she sang. And I was like, oh, okay. She's really, really good. And this album is just top to bottom a great album. At 19, super impressive. She's like way beyond her years. And she turned into one of my favorite artists. And in my opinion, like one of the most, I don't know if important is the word, but like just one of the most distinct artists of the 21st century. Just kind of does her own thing. Was releasing an album like every 5 to 8 years. And she's just probably one of them, and she's very like reclusive? Is that a word? Let's find out together. Reclusive. Okay. Yes, avoiding the company of other people. I think she dated David Blaine there for a hot minute. But nobody really knows a lot about her. She's just an artist and awesome. Okie doke. Number 13, Modest Mouse. This is a long drive for someone with nothing to think about. The best songs I have are Dramamine, or as I would like to say, Dramamine, Breakthrough, Custom Concern, Might, Lounge, Talking Shit About a Pretty Sunset. It was one of the best titles of a song ever. Novocaine Stain. This album is great. I was a little late to this one because I went backwards. I would listen to the one what I thought was their first album. It came out in 97. Oh, Brookie, you should know. Oh, I can look it up. Hey, how do you like that? Lonesome Crowded West. I listened to that one first. Then I listened to like their album that came out in 2000, which was something else. It was like a compilation album, sort of. And then I listened to this. And this is really good. It's a little uneven. And it's really long, if I remember correctly. But there's a lot of good highlights in it. Most of which I just mentioned. Modest Mouse, if you don't know, we'll just call them an indie rock band. And leave it at that. Number 12 is DJ Shadow. Album is Introducing. E-N-D. Introducing. Best songs I wrote down: Building Steam with a Grain of Salt, the number song, What Does Your Soul Look Like, Stem, Organ Donor, Midnight in a Perfect World. Also, awesome song title. Song titles so far, well, Bush, not so great, but maybe it's just 2 in a row that I'm really impressed with. So DJ Shadow is kind of I don't want to call him one of one. He's mainly just instrumental hip-hop, I guess that's what you would call him. But he's really, really good, and this album is awesome. This is like a hipster's favorite, and it holds up. So sometimes like a hipster stuff gets out of control. There was a band called Juju that was like really popular sort of in the hipster circles, and they were god-awful. This is not. This is really, really good. They kind of like, without him, and this is going to sound very hipstery, there would be no such thing as R2G2 or whatever his name, R2D2. But yeah, instrumental hip-hop and just really good beats and just really good late-night music as well. All right, number 11, the artist is Ash. The album is 1977. My favorite songies are Lose Control, Goldfinger, which was on, I'm pretty sure, Goldfinger, I want to say was on a Tony Hawk soundtrack to the video game. Let's look it up. Tony Hawk soundtrack video game. If I'm right, you have to pay me $1 million. How do I find this out? This seems like it's not worth it. This juice may not be worth the squeeze, peeps. I also might be wrong. I think I'm thinking of a band called Gold something. Oh, I am. The actual band is called Goldfinger. Okay. Oops. Oopsies. My bad. But they do have a song called Lose Control that was on a racing game soundtrack. So I've sort of redeemed myself. Did I even mention the other songs? Girl from Mars, Gone the Dream, oh yeah. I gotta say, I absolutely love this song. This band was also super young. Oh, let's see if I can redeem myself twice in a row. Ash, I think they're from Ireland? Band. Let's just see. Formed in 1992. Is it going to give me the info on... I think they were born in 77, so it was just something... is there something that mentions their age? Is it even important? I don't think so. Damn it. Okay. I thought I would see something, but I didn't. Hey, you know what? I saw Modest Mouse live, and I saw Ash live. Ash was at Coachella, and I went in a special tent to see them. They are, I think I just said they're Irish. I hope I'm right. They're either Irish, yeah, Irish. It's really good. It's kind of like pop punk, but a little sweeter. There's more to it, I would say. But it's really fun as well. It's just fun. That's my out for everything. All right, number 10. Local H is the artist, As Good as Dead. I also saw them live in Tallahassee, so put that in your casket. Favorite songs, best songs, High-Fiving Mofo. Bound for the Floor was one of my favorite radio songs ever. I Saw What You Did, I Know Who You Are, No Problem, Eddie Vedder, Okay. I'll be honest, if we had done this podcast like 20 years ago, this album might have been number one, because anyone who was my friend, and if you don't know this, you weren't my friend. But seriously, this band and this album specifically got worn the F out. I loved this. I was just like, and you just didn't really have a lot of internet stuff out there. So I was like, I just knew they were from Chicago. All I had really to go on was like the occasional music article and like their picture in the CD booklet. And that was it. And I was obsessed. It was kind of like, they're kind of like a Nirvana ripoff, I guess. But I love them. And it's mainly two guys. The guys have switched over the years. But this band is just like a professional band. And they're awesome. And you should listen to them. And boy, they are grumpy little elves. Some of these songs are very angry. But Bound for the Floor is just like, it's like caramel. It's just, you just chew on it. It's just like, oh. That was supposed to sound like Homer Simpson and not like, I don't know what that was. No, I was going to do it again. Nope. Sounds like Beavis and Butthead. Okay. Number 9 is Pearl Jam. Album is No Code. Favorite song is Sometimes, Hail Hail, Who You Are, In My Tree, Off He Goes, Habit, Lukin. This one is awesome. I think I won this in a poker game, which sounds cooler than it really was. Anyway, really like this album. Underrated. Pearl Jam was still really good at this point. I think they had another couple albums in them, and then they started to get a little stinky. Hail Hail I used to love. I think this is 14. Yeah, I started writing. I remember in some math class, I just had like Hail Hail in my head. I remember this is when I started writing artist names on my notebooks, in class. This had to be the year I really got into music. 96. I think so. Yeah, it was like 95, 96. I was deep in it. You couldn't tell me anything. I was just like a little sponge. Like a little SpongeBob. Sponge Brook. All right, number 8, Sebado Harmacy. Absolutely love this album. Favorite songs, On Fire, Prince S, Ocean. which is one of my favorites of all timesies. Nothing Like You, Willing to Wait, Too Pure, Worst Thing, Perfect Way. This album is too long, but it's also so good. This is probably their most commercial album. Maybe this one or the one that came after it. And I think maybe they just stopped making music after the last one. Or the next one. But I'm going to say this is my favorite Sebado album. They are like old school indie band. Well, they came from Dinosaur Jr., at least one of them did. And then Lou Barlow, I believe, is like the lead dude here. And he is a very sentimental man. A lot of these songs, like, there's just like, I think I've described him in the past as like very direct with his lyrics. There's usually not a lot of fluff to them. He's just like, he takes what he's feeling and he puts it on the page. He's very like, Willing to Wait is just like a heartbreakingly honest song. And what else? Yeah, Too Pure. Ocean is just, to me, it's kind of like this bouncy little song. So you think you're in the middle of the ocean, standing on an island of your own. I forgot the list. Something about something on the side of a mountain. It's very fun to sing if you know the lyrics. All right, number 7. I've got a lot of songs written on this one. Number 7 is Wilco. Album is Being There. This is a double album. And one of these songs sounds like a song from Tool. So I don't remember which one. But nope, I don't remember which one. Favorite songs, I've got Misunderstood, Far, Far Away, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Forget the Flowers, Red Eyed and Blue, What's the World Got in Store? What's the World Got in Store? Sunken Treasure. I think that's the one that sounds like Tool. Someday Soon, Was I in Your Dreams? Why Would You Want to Live? I think Why Would You Want to Live Here is the name of that song. They are an alternative country band, especially at this point. They're like Breaking Bad in a way. Well, not really. More like Breaking Dad, which is actually not a bad joke if you know Wilco's career path. So they start off like real alternative country. This is the one where they're still in their country phase. The next album is Summer Teeth, which is a nice blend of like the pop and the alternative country. I think it's their best album. And then the one after that is definitely more like they're starting to get a little proggy, if that's a word. I forgot the name of that. Oh, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is like they're turning into Radiohead, basically. And then the one after that is a little more, I don't even know. It's like half Radiohead, half dad rock. And then the one after that is like full-on dad rock. And then they've just turned into dad rock. So, but they had a nice sweet spot there where it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 albums. And they were, my friend Mike Egan, I think they're his favorite band. I saw them live with him, actually. And I saw Pearl Jam live. Wow, this is a big, saw them live year. Anywho, that's all I have to say about that. Number 6 is REM, New Adventures in Hi-Fi. For favorite songs, I've got How the West Was Won and Where It Got Us, which is such a long title. Undertow, which is a Tool song. Ebo the Letter, Leave, Bittersweet Me, Be Mine, Electrolyte. Be Mine is Pam and I sing that song to each other sometimes. I think that's the one where it goes, you and me and you. This album is very, very good. It's not like the best REM album, but REM has become one of my favorite bands. And if you don't know who they are, then that's on you. You should give them a listen. This one is maybe their longest album. It's really long. Let's see how long it is. REM album length. Oh, this is not their longest album, but I do like that I can see the lengths of their albums. And this one is not listed. Mother trucker. Yeah, I guess Up is 64 minutes. Wow. Up is one of my favorite albums of theirs, and I do not apologize for it. Anyway, this album is very long. I don't know how many songs are on it, but it's a bunch. All right. Number 5 is The Silver Jews. Album is Natural Bridge. This one, favorite songs, I've got How to Rent a Room, Pet Politics, Black and Brown Blues, Ballad of Reverend War Character, The Frontier Index. This is my favorite album by them, easily. It's in the top 100. This guy, I think, unfortunately, has passed away. I can't think of his name. David Barman, I think is his name. Berman or Barman. And he is one of the best lyricists I've ever, listened to. Actually, I bought a book of his poetry, which was not great. So sorry about that. I think I got it for Christmas last year, and I was bummed to find out that it was not great. At least I didn't care for it. But his lyrics are just like, they tell entire stories. I've maybe in the past compared to him, like if Tom Robbins was a musician, this would be him, because he really just packs a lot, and he's super clever, and it's an entertaining, just to read his lyrics is very entertaining. They're very smart. All right. Number 4 is Rage Against the Machine. Album is Evil Empire. The favorite songs, pretty much all of them. People of the Sun, Bulls on Parade, Viet Now, Revolver, Snake Drummer, Tire Me. Yeah, you're trying to tire me. Down Rodeo, or as my dad would pronounce, Rodeo. And Wind Below. And this, I had rage fever. I had, I, at this point, was just wearing band shirts for the most part to school, and I just kept buying Rage Against the Machine shirts. I had the album cover of this one, and I looked like the kid on the cover. I had a Rage Against the Machine shirt. Oh my God, where was that? I used to go buy my shirts. Oh, that place in the mall. They were always in the back. I cannot think of that. It was it felt like a goth place, but then they had oh God, boy, to go back in time. I can't. Was it Hot Topic? Ugh, no, it was. Maybe it was Hot Topic. I thought it was a different one, Spencer's. Yeah, Spencer's Gifts Mall store. Let's just see. I think it was Spencer's Gifts, and I'm pretty sure they sold t-shirts, and I'm pretty sure they're not around anymore. Anyway, I would go there. I remember seeing the STP shirt where there's a million years, and I was just like, too cool. Anyway, I had a bunch of Rage Against the Machine. I had no less than 3. I had 3 that I can think of, and there were probably more. I had a lot of them. Anywho, I was really into the band. I still like them. This album is just awesome. The politics, sometimes you get a little farther away from it. You're like, were they really that political, or were they just, was it like a money-making thing? Like, we care. Whatever. The music is awesome. So do with that what you will. Belle and Sebastian is number 3. The album is If You're Feeling Sinister. And favorite songs, The Stars of Track and Field, Me in the Major, Like Dylan in the Movies, Get Me Away From Here, I'm Dying, If You're Feeling Sinister, Judy and the Dream of Forces. This album is perfect from top to bottom. Absolutely love it. My top 5 here are just, this was an awesome year. Top 5. This one, I really like the cover. I think it's just red with some scene happening. They're a Scottish band who I did see live at Coachella as well. What a Coachella that was. And this is not their first album, I don't believe, but it's really, really good. Maybe it's the first one that really put them on the map. This is my favorite album from them. Just like a awesome. There's so many people in this band. It's definitely like one of those college bands. They all formed in college. I think this band was formed as like a college project. And then Stuart Murdoch is like the lead dude. And I'm seriously, I think this was a college project that they did. And then it was like, oh, hey, we're actually kind of good. And then they just kind of kept playing, and then they were getting signed, and they were just, finding people and adding people. And anyway, but the band itself, incredible career, and this album, it might have peaked early, but oh boy, that didn't sound good. All right. Number 2, Beck, album is Odelay. Favorite songs, Devil's Haircut, Hot Wax. You got the hot wax residue. You never lose in your razor blade shoes. Man, so cool. Lord Only Knows, New Pollution, Novocaine, Jackass, Where It's At, Ready Made. This album is just a party, and that will come up later. I absolutely love this album. I had this shirt. I saw Beck also at Coachella. Holy shitballs. I saw all these bands at Coachella. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this album is just craziness. It's just a super blended. It's got, rock and lo-fi and him rapping and junkyard music. It's just all over the place, and it's a hot mess, and it's also just kind of perfect. Perfect in its imperfections. I don't know. Where It's At was an absolutely huge hit. I did have a picture of Jackass shirt. Sorry. I had a shirt with a picture of a Jackass on it. I don't even know what to add about this, but it's I don't know. Either like it or you don't. He's a very interesting lyricist. It seems like a lot of them are just random things, but they work, and they're memorable. So, anyway, number 1, I've got Tool, and album is Enema, and I saw this band in Tallahassee, not at Coachella. Favorite song, Stinkfist, Eulogy, H46, and 2, Hooker with a Penis, just keep on going, Jimmy, and Enema. And this album is awesome. It would be perfect if they took out, like, maybe shorten. There's one song that's super long. Just shorten that. And then there's a couple, like, sketches that you have to get through. The German guy that's, like, reading a cake recipe, but it sounds like Hitler. And otherwise, it's literally just, like, it could have been, I mean, it still is an incredible album. Obviously, it's my number 1. It could have been just absolute perfection. But Maynard James Keenan, lead singer for Tool, I heard something about them, like how they started and blah, blah, blah. I think Maynard was in like a punk band or something. Anyway, he is a baldy, but he wears like wigs and stuff all the time. Interesting guy. I think he also like makes his own some kind of alcohol or something. He it's a whole. Let's just find out. I know he's been on Joe Rogan a bunch. Maynard James Keenan makes, is it wine? Yeah, he makes wine at his Arizona vineyards. He just seems like an interesting dude. Maynard James Keenan. Let's just see. Let's type interesting facts. Interesting facts. I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Let's go, maybe just go back to the band. Sorry, we got on a little tangent there. The Hooker with a Penis song, if it's the one I'm thinking of, there's so many of those, is just such a good, like, slap in the face to fans who said that they sold out. This song actually should be huge today, because it's basically like kind of like that internet culture of like, oh, you guys sold out, or you guys blah blah blah, and he basically just completely owns it. And he's like, yeah, we sold out. We wanted to make money, and you bought our album, you dumb shit. So thank you. And it's kind of just such a slap in the face to that little, there's a weird, I don't want to even call it a movement, but, I was a part of it, I'm sure, where just like, it was 90s culture. If you sold out, like if you were popular, that was a horrible thing. I don't know. Making money was apparently a bad idea. You're supposed to be talented and poor. Anywho, Tool kind of flipped that on its head and said, F you, bro. All right, categories. What kind of band is Tool, you ask? You ask, right? I'm going to say alternative metal, and that's the only thing I feel comfortable saying. All right, most listened to, I've got Local H because I burned that hole in that album. Tool, Beck, Bell and Sebastian, and Rage Against the Machine. Audible Pump Award. Rage and Tool all the way. Rage Against the Machine and Tool. Those two fill up my my workout playlist. The Freak Off Award. I've got a Dr. Octagon, who is one of the pseudonyms of Cool Keith. And this album is definitely for the freaks. I had a friend who worked at Pizza Hut. I introduced this album to him. Lavardo, I think. I wonder if I just type in Lavardo. He was like a Navy SEAL. I had kind of a funny story about him. Lavardo, Navy SEALs. Let's just see what pops up. I think his name was Lavardo. No Navy SEALs named Lavardo. If that was his name. I'm not entirely sure that was his name. But Lavardo was such a badass. I went on a little... I also put Maxwell. I think it's Maxwell's Urban Suite or something. And that is a really good album. Deserved mention. So anyway, Lavardo... He was training for the Navy SEALs, or maybe in the Navy SEALs, and he also was a delivery driver for Pizza Hut at the time, and he kept a sword in his trunk. He was a weird guy, but he was an awesome guy, and I think I hurt his feelings when I didn't go see a movie with him once. He was such a badass and in such good shape. We went for a run, a long run. He was like, hey, yeah, if you ever want to work out, let me know, because I was, trying to get in shape. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So, we run, let's just say 4 or 5 miles, and I'm, done. And then we were doing, push-ups and sit-ups, and I'm dying. I'm just absolutely dying. And I was, kind of a skinny kid. Probably not that strong, but, I was a skinny little twerp. This is in early college years. And, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm just done. And he's looking at his watch. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go work out. And I'm like, huh? This was just his little warm up. I felt like I'd done the biggest workout of my life. We had done maybe pull-ups as well. And I'm just dying. And he's just like, all right, well, now I'm actually going to work out. Thanks for the warm up. And he just left. And I was like, and that's when I knew. Navy SEALs was not for me. Street Fighter album. This is great music to get in a fight to. Rage Against the Machine and Local H. Hells yes. Run Force Run. These are albums to run to. Again, Rage Against the Machine is just running the gauntlet here. And also DJ Shadow. Got some good beats. Best dinner music, I put Fiona Apple. It's not too in your face. It's nice. She's got a great voice. There's some piano. It's a little classy. Class it up for once in your life. Dance Mofo Dance Award. I've got Beck Odelay. It's not going to be good dancing, but it will be dancing. And then Jamiroquai. It's mainly just going to be the robot dance, but whatever. Party Animal. I've got Beck because that album is just an absolute party. It's an absolute party. Some things I say without thinking about them. All right, Late Night, Early Morning. Got a decent list here. I've got Maxwell, Bell and Sebastian, DJ Shadow, and then Bedhead. Bedhead, I absolutely love this band. They went on to become The New Year, which is one of my favorite bands ever. It's, what's the name of that kind of music? It's very, bedheaded type of music. Where is it? I don't see right, layered guitars, but it's very, I would recommend the New Year above them, but if you're having trouble, go for Bedhead first. All right, Long Drive, Nothing to Think About award. This is just back in the day when you would throw in some CDs in the changer and go on a drive. Modest Mouse, the category is named after them. Long Drive, Nothing to Think About. I've got Beck because that's just going to be a party. Bush, Razor Blade Suitcase because it's fun to sing along. Local H, in case you see your ex-girlfriend like with her new dude on the sidewalk. And then Pearl Jam, No Code. Pearl Jam's fun to sing. Slow Motion Walker, I've got Tool, Enema. That, if you're listening and you know Tool, that was actually pretty impressive. I'm gonna do that to Jeannie and see if she recognizes it. All right. Oh, this is good. What the Fudge Was I Thinking, or Guilty Pleasure? Oh, okay. So, like, I've been working since I was 14. And when I think about what I spent my money on, it hurts my soul's butthole. I bought an album by the artist called The Refreshments. The album was called Fizzy Fuzzy Big and Buzzy. And I hate myself for it. I bought this dumbass album. It was like, they had a popular song. Let's just see what that popular song was. The band is called The Refreshments, Brook. What the fudge were you thinking? Banditos was the name of the song. This band sucks so hard. Oh, I'm going to Google this stupid song and just put myself in a bad mood later. Now, what I will say is that was a chick on the front of this album cover that was hot. Let's just put that in there. Let's see how hot she was. Yeah. Whew. This was before the internet, folks. And she's a cartoon. But she had it going on. Whew. All right. One Hit Wonder. Los Del Rio. The song was Macarena. And it's maybe the biggest one-hit wonder of all time. All right, the Grower Not a Shower award. I put new REM New Adventures in Hi-Fi. For one, it's such a long album, and it takes a while to discover the later tracks because you might listen and then like you're at your destination in 30 minutes and then you just don't listen to the rest of it. So you're gonna listen to probably the first half a lot more than the second, but that second half is very strong. All right, Forever in the Queue. These are things that I just can't get myself to listen to for whatever reason. I'll probably explain it as I go. Tortoise, Millions Now, Living Will Never Die. I have one of their albums, and it's fine. I like one of the songs a lot, but I don't know. This band always gets a lot of love, and I've never just, kind of loved them back. Sibo Motto, the album is Viva. I don't know, this thing was like shoved down throats back in the day. It was like all the magazines loved it. I just was like, what is it? Olivia Tremor Control. This is one of those, what's the twee bands? And I never listened to it. It was really hard to find as well. Sneaker Pimps, Becoming X. Six Underground is such a killer song, but I just never really listened to the album. Beth Orton, Trailer Park. I forgot the name of the song that's really good on this, but I never listened to the album, although I have like maybe her second album or their album after this, and that one's really good, so I should probably listen to this. Salt Osculate. I feel like I've heard this is good. They had some song. It was like a hit, a minor hit, and I don't know, just never listened to it. Outcast, Aliens. Or ATL, Aliens, whatever. I know the singles, and I really didn't become an Outkast fan until Aquemini, and that's my favorite of theirs. I really just like Aquemini, Stankonia, and the double album. For whatever reason, I can't go before that, and I can't go after that. Although I think the double album was the last one. So it makes sense that I can't go after that. And then Ghostface Killah, Iron Man. This is another one. I love Ghostface Killer's album. Oh, actually, I was just looking at it. Supreme Clientele came out in 2000. This is his first one. I'm sure it's great. I just can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Let's get to the categories. Most likely to get pushed on deaf ears. I've got DJ Shadow introducing because it's one of those like, oh, if you like hip hop or if you like electronic music, you might not have listened to this, and you should. All right, top 5 singles for me. I've got Tool, Hooker with a Penis. Just ignore the title. Silver Jews, The Frontier Index. Such a good song, and just the lyrics are incredible. Number 3, Rage Against the Machine, Tire Me. That is one of my favorite workout mixes of all time, or songs. Pearl Jam. God, Sophie's going off. Off He Goes is the name of the song. I was trying to speed this up. Sebadoh, Ocean. Love that song. Top selling albums of the year. We've got Celine Dion, Falling Into You at 32 million. Spice Girls at 23 million. Matchbox 20, 15 million. Toni Braxton, 15 million. Backstreet Boys, 14 million. Gross. Top 5 singles, according to whatever. Los Del Rio, Macarena. Mariah Carey, One Sweet Day. Celine Dion, Because You Love Me. Tony Rich Project, Nobody Knows. Mariah Carey, Always Be My Baby. All right, He's Just Not Into You. These are albums that I just don't care for. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. Chavez, Ride the Fader. Pantera, Great Southern Trendkill. Ren, Secaucus, Cool Shaker, K. God, Sophie, you just make it so difficult. Shout-outs. Albums that I didn't really get to touch on. Maxwell's Urban Suite is great. Fuji's The Score, really good. I just don't listen to it. Tupac, All Eyes on Me, fine. Dr. Octagon is really good. Fountains of Wayne. Jamel Hotel's first album, solid, but Ween, 12 Golden Country Greats is great. Aphex Twin, Richard E. James album. Heat Miser, Mike City Sons, which is Elliott Smith's first band, is solid. Cake, Fashion Nugget. Wallflowers, Bring Down the Horse, solid album. I really just remember the singles, but it's Bob Dylan's son, and Jacob Dylan has very blue eyes. Soundgarden, Down on the Upside, it's fine. Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. I actually really like this album. I almost put it on the top 15, but I really probably just like 5 or 6 songs a lot, and then the rest are fine. Screaming Trees, Dust. Really underrated album. Lemonhead's Car Button Cloth, solid. Placebo's Self-Titled, I think it's their debut. I'm a huge Placebo fan, which we'll tackle in later episodes. Cure, Wild Mood Swings. Nick Cave, Murder Ballads, that one was really good. But I think I only like maybe a few songs on it. Nas, It Was Written, huge album. John Spencer Blues Explosion, Now I Got Worry. Thought that would make my top 15, but I just don't listen to it all that much. And then Sublime. All right, and then Best Live Show, I wrote down Tool, John Spencer Blues Explosion, and I think Marilyn Manson would put on an amazing show. That's it. Bye-bye.